Eliza Cooper wiped the grease from her hands, her eyes fixed on the rusted pickup truck that refused to start. The salty breeze from the nearby ocean carried the scent of brine and possibility, a stark contrast to the stagnant air of her struggling garage. At 28, Eliza was the best mechanic in the small coastal town of Havens Cove, but that didn't count for much when most of the locals could barely afford basic repairs. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Eliza's radio crackled to life. The local station, usually filled with fishing reports and weather updates, now buzzed with excitement. Unidentified object, falling from the sky, headed towards Mermaid's Beach. Curiosity piqued, Eliza grabbed her toolbox and jumped into her beat-up Jeep. The drive to Mermaid's Beach was short but treacherous, the narrow road winding along cliffsides that dropped sharply into the churning sea below. As she rounded the final bend, her headlights illuminated a scene straight out of a sci-fi novel. There, half buried in the sand, lay a sleek, silver craft unlike anything Eliza had ever seen. It gleamed under the moonlight, its surface unmarred despite the crash landing. Steam hissed from what appeared to be engine vents, and a faint, pulsing blue light emanated from within. Eliza approached cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. She had always believed in the possibility of extraterrestrial life, but to see proof of it on her local beach was beyond her wildest dreams. As she drew closer, a panel on the side of the craft slid open with a soft whoosh. From the opening emerged a figure that defied easy description. Tall and lithe, with iridescent skin that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light, the being regarded Eliza with eyes that swirled with galaxies. When it spoke, the words appeared in Eliza's mind rather than reaching her ears. "Greetings, Earth Dweller. I am Zarhon, diplomatic envoy of the Celestial Concordat. Our vessel has suffered an unfortunate malfunction. Might you possess the knowledge to assist us?" Eliza blinked, momentarily stunned. Then, almost instinctively, she hefted her toolbox. "I'm Eliza Cooper. I'm a mechanic. I'm not sure about alien spaceships, but I can take a look." Zarhan's eyes sparkled with what might have been amusement. "Your offer is most appreciated, Eliza Cooper. Perhaps your skills will prove more valuable than you realize." As Eliza stepped into the craft, she was overwhelmed by the complexity of the technology before her. Holographic displays flickered with symbols she couldn't comprehend, and the air hummed with energy. Yet, beneath the alien trappings, she could sense the fundamental principles of engineering at work. "Your propulsion system," she murmured, running her hand along a pulsing conduit. "It's damaged, isn't it? The energy flow is disrupted." Zarhan's surprise was palpable. "Your insight is remarkable for one unfamiliar with our technology. Indeed, the quantum flux drive has been destabilized by an unexpected solar flare." As Eliza delved deeper into the ship's systems, dawn broke over Havens Cove. Word of the alien arrival spread quickly, and soon a crowd gathered on the beach. Among them were local officials, wide-eyed with a mixture of wonder and apprehension. Inside the ship, Eliza worked tirelessly, her mind racing to adapt her knowledge to the advanced alien systems. Zarhan and the other aliens, a crew of 5 in total, watched in fascination as she jury-rigged solutions with a combination of their technology and parts from her toolbox. "This temporal regulator," Eliza said, holding up a device that looked like a cross between a gyroscope and a lava lamp. "It's not so different from a car's timing belt. The principle is the same, just on a much grander scale." As the day wore on, tension in the town grew. Government vehicles began to arrive, their occupants wearing dark suits and grim expressions. Eliza could hear heated arguments outside about quarantine procedures and national security. "Zarhan," she said, her voice low, "I think we need to get your shit operational fast. I'm not sure how much longer we have before things get complicated." The alien diplomat nodded solemnly. "We have observed the approach of your authorities. Our presence here must not become a source of conflict. Can you complete the repairs in time?" Eliza took a deep breath, looking at the complex array of systems before her. It was the greatest challenge she had ever faced, but also the most exhilarating. "I'll do my best, but I'll need your help to understand some of these components." As the sun began to set once more, Eliza and the alien crew worked in perfect synchronicity. She found herself marveling at how quickly she was adapting to their technology, as if some deep, dormant part of her mind had awakened to the challenge. Outside, the situation was deteriorating. The local sheriff was in a heated argument with federal agents, while frightened and curious townspeople pressed against hastily erected barricades. Eliza could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on her. The fate of this peaceful alien encounter, and perhaps much more, rested in her grease-stained hands. With a final adjustment to the quantum flux drive, Eliza stepped back. The ship hummed to life, its systems glowing with renewed energy. Zahan's eyes shimmered with gratitude and respect. "Eliza Cooper," the alien intoned, "you have done more than repair our vessel. You have demonstrated the incredible potential of your species. We are in your debt." As alarms began to sound outside and the shouts grew more urgent, Eliza realized that this was only the beginning of an adventure that would change her life, and possibly the course of human history forever, bridging two worlds. The next few days passed in a whirlwind of activity. The beach had been cordoned off, with military personnel and scientists swarming the area. Yet, thanks to the intervention of the town's mayor, who recognized the potential benefits of a peaceful alien encounter, Eliza maintained her position as the primary liaison between the celestial Concordat and Earth. Inside the ship, which now hovered just above the sand to avoid further damage, Eliza found herself in a crash course on alien technology and culture. Zahan and his crew were eager to share their knowledge, recognizing in Eliza a kindred spirit of curiosity and innovation. "Your method of bypassing the quantum flux regulator was quite ingenious," Zahan commented as they worked on fine-tuning the ship's systems. "It would never have occurred to us to use such primitive materials in that way." Eliza grinned, holding up the makeshift device she created using parts from an old carburetor and the alien's own tech. "Sometimes the old ways work best. Besides, I've always believed that true innovation comes from working with what you have." As they worked, Eliza learned about the Celestial Concordat, a vast alliance of spacefaring civilizations dedicated to peaceful exploration and the exchange of knowledge. Earth, it seemed, was on the cusp of being considered for first contact, a process that had been accelerated by this accidental encounter. In return, Eliza shared stories of human history, culture, and technology. The aliens were particularly fascinated by Earth's music, and Eliza found herself giving impromptu guitar lessons to a delighted Zahan, whose extra-jointed fingers proved surprisingly adept at forming chords. Outside the ship, however, tensions continued to mount. Government agencies argued over jurisdiction, while religious leaders debated the theological implications of extraterrestrial life. Conspiracy theorists flooded social media with wild claims, and global powers postured for position in this new cosmic arena. Eliza felt the weight of her responsibility growing with each passing day. She had become more than just a mechanic. She was now a bridge between two worlds, tasked with fostering understanding and preventing misunderstandings that could have catastrophic consequences. One afternoon, as Eliza was explaining the concept of ocean tides to the alien crew, alarms blared throughout the ship. Zahan rushed to a control panel, his usual calm demeanor replaced by urgent concern. "A critical malfunction in the temporal stasis field," he announced. "If not corrected, it could create a localized time distortion affecting a significant area of your planet." Eliza's mind raced. The temporal stasis field was one of the most advanced systems on the ship, allowing it to navigate the vast distances of space. It was also the one area where her understanding fell short. "What can we do?" she asked, already reaching for her tools. Zahan's eyes swirled with complex calculations. "The field must be contained and gradually dissipated, but the process is incredibly delicate. One wrong move could accelerate the distortion." For hours, Eliza and the alien crew worked feverishly to stabilize the temporal stasis field. Eliza found herself pushing the boundaries of her understanding, intuiting solutions based on her knowledge of Earth physics and the alien principles she'd learned. As the final connections were made and the field began to stabilize, Eliza realized that she had done something remarkable. She had not only understood but improved upon technology centuries ahead of Earth's current capabilities. Zarhan approached her, his iridescent skin glowing with what she now recognized as deep respect. Eliza Cooper, your actions today have saved countless lives and preserved the integrity of your world's timeline. Such aptitude is rare, even among the most advanced civilizations of the Concordat. The alien diplomat paused, seeming to come to a decision. We would be honored if you would consider joining us as our chief engineer. Your unique perspective and innovative thinking would be invaluable to our mission of exploration and discovery. Eliza's breath caught in her throat. The offer was beyond anything she had ever dreamed of, a chance to explore the cosmos, to learn and grow beyond the confines of her small-town life. Yet, as she looked out the ship's viewport at the gathered crowd of her friends and neighbors, she felt a tug of connection to her home. Before she could respond, a commotion outside caught their attention. A group of government officials was approaching the ship, their expressions grim and determined. The leader, a stern-faced woman in a crisp suit, spoke into a megaphone. By order of the United Earth Coalition, this vessel and all its occupants are to be placed under quarantine. Any resistance will be met with force. Eliza Cooper, you are ordered to exit the craft immediately. Eliza exchanged a worried glance with Tsar Honorable. The situation had escalated beyond their control, and now they faced a critical moment that could determine the future of human-alien relations. As the tension outside mounted, Eliza realized that her decision about Zarhan's offer would have to wait. Right now, she needed to find a way to bridge the gap between fear and understanding, to show both her fellow humans and her new alien friends that cooperation was not only possible but essential. With a deep breath, Eliza stepped towards the ship's exit. She had repaired the alien vessel, but her greatest challenge lay ahead, mending the rift between two worlds before it was too late. A universal decision. Eliza's heart pounded as she stepped onto the sand, facing the array of government officials, military personnel, and anxious townspeople. The weight of the moment pressed down on her, but she stood tall, knowing that her actions in the next few minutes could shape the course of human history. Wait, she called out, her voice carrying across the suddenly hushed beach. Before you take any drastic action, there's something you need to understand. The stern-faced woman from the United Earth Coalition narrowed her eyes. Miss Cooper, you've been in unauthorized contact with extraterrestrial entities. This is a matter of global security. Eliza took a deep breath. It's because I've been in contact with them that I know they're not a threat. The Celestial Concordat is a peaceful alliance of civilizations. They're explorers and diplomats, not invaders. As murmurs rippled through the crowd, Zarhan emerged from the ship, his luminescent form causing gasps of awe and fear. He stood beside Eliza, a living embodiment of the unknown that humanity now faced. People of Earth, Zarhan's thoughts resonated in the minds of all present. We come in peace and with an offer of friendship. Our encounter here was unplanned, but it has shown us the great potential of your species. The UEC official's hand hovered near her weapon. And why should we trust you? Eliza stepped forward, because they've already proven their goodwill. Their ship's malfunction could have caused a disaster, but instead of fleeing or trying to cover it up, they worked with me to fix it and protect our town, our world. As if on cue, the ship behind them hummed to life, projecting a holographic display of the averted temporal distortion. Scientists in the crowd gasped, recognizing the implications of the technology and the danger that had been averted. Eliza continued, her voice growing stronger. I've seen their technology, their culture. Yes, they're more advanced than us in many ways, but they're not so different. They value discovery, cooperation, and growth, just like we do at our best. The tension in the air began to shift, fear giving way to curiosity and cautious hope. Eliza could see the change in the eyes of the officials, the softening of their stances. "We stand at a crossroads," Eliza said, addressing not just the crowd, but the cameras that had gathered to broadcast this moment around the world. "We can choose fear and isolation, or we can embrace this opportunity to join a larger community of worlds. The Celestial Concordat is offering us friendship, knowledge, and a chance to grow beyond our wildest dreams." Zarhan stepped forward, his form shimmering with earnest intensity. "We do not seek to overwhelm or replace your cultures, but to exchange knowledge and work together towards a brighter future for all sentient beings." The UEC official hesitated, then slowly lowered her hand from her weapon. This is beyond my authority. We need to contact global leadership, arrange for proper diplomatic channels." "Then let's do that," Eliza said firmly. "But let's do it in a spirit of openness and cooperation, not fear and suspicion." As the tension of the moment began to dissipate, Eliza found herself at the center of a flurry of activity. Government officials huddled in urgent discussion, scientists approached with wide-eyed questions, and journalists clamored for statements. Through it all, Eliza felt a growing sense of clarity. She turned to Zarhan, a bittersweet smile on her face. "I'm honored by your offer to join your crew, but I think I'm needed here. Someone needs to help Earth navigate this new reality, to be a bridge between our worlds." Zarhan's eyes swirled with understanding. "Your decision speaks to the very qualities that made us extend the offer. Know that you will always have a place among the stars, Eliza Cooper." As the day wore on, the beach transformed from a site of potential conflict to one of cautious celebration. The alien ship, once a source of fear, became a symbol of new possibilities. Children gazed up at it in wonder. Scientists sketched fur.